division are
What?
you from?
What are you talking about?
Who are you? What's your name?
Disney is not the best when it comes to their track record of success for their movies and TV shows.
To me, this situation is a blood-soaked, nightmarish hellscape.
But I gotta admit, the best thing about the Loki season 2, at least the first episode, going back into it, is how much they seem to take inspiration, as well as some of the characters, from everywhere all at once, and that honestly made it feel better. The way the scenes are shot, dialogue, the visuals, I have to admit it had me hooked. I was kind of worried because they have this bad track record, a lot of studios nowadays, with doing well, sort of, on a first season, and then they're like,
Like that shit?
well, no problem, let's just freaking ruin it. Because that's what we do. Getting your hopes up so we can smash it. And so I find that I tend to go in with a jaded, skeptical eye whenever I'm observing season 2 of shows for which the season 1s I've already liked or am fond of. And granted, Loki, the first season, wasn't the best. I mean, I absolutely enjoyed it, and it's probably because it had to do with, like,
Timey-wimey stuff.
so I might be a little more biased here, but what I can say is I actually enjoyed my viewing of the first episode going in because you know what it did? It actually focused on Loki!
Don't tell.
Let's be honest, a lot of people come here for Tom Hiddleston, people love him, and he is a great rendition of Loki. So at the very least, starting out, we get the focus on him, and we get to understand the stakes to some degree. And I say that warily, because we all know that the stakes don't really mean much now, especially when you're considering the whole multiverse angle, which people are actually tapped out on.
I'm tired of this, Grandpa.
That's too damn bad!
You see, introducing the concept of the multiverse in and of itself wasn't a bad thing, but I feel like it's more of sort of an endgame situation. You're trying to weave a whole bunch of new stories out of something that would explain away everything that is a problem. Oh no, a bad guy defeated us, let's go back into the past or another universe and defeat him there. Oh no, a character died. It's okay because he still exists in another version of our universe and we can just go over there. Call me crazy, but I also feel like it's a very easy way to cop out very glaring writing and continuity issues. Something doesn't make sense. Oh, well, in the other universe it does, and that's why this happened here, because this person is actually from the other universe, and what a tangled web we weave. Then you have the aspect of different versions of the same superhero that become annoying because now the character development doesn't feel authentic, because the character just feels easily discardable. I feel like Rick and Morty handled this better because it was also parodying it, but at any one time you're following along the same Rick and Morty thinking that it's the same Rick and Morty and not actually knowing whether or not it's yours.
Destroyed the whole world. So we bailed on that reality and we came to this one.
He's the Bachelor.
I can make a clone of you. A perfect instance of you with all your memories, an exact copy in every way.
The story heavily leans towards the main characters of Rick and Morty. The ones we believe are the ones we started with. Specifically Rick Sanchez, that is. It's so outlandish as a show and over the top that you can even forgive the continuity issues. Because along with Rick Sanchez's nihilistic take on things, as goes along with the whole theme of the show, nothing really matters. However, in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, they want us to care about these characters and to believe that things actually do matter. But do they though? Loki plays a delicate balance with this, because as far as I'm concerned, with this Loki anyway, the one that we've been following, I actually care about what happens to him. You care about what happens to the people around him, and they actually do a good job at this in the first episode when they really do seem to take inspiration from everything everywhere all at once, and it feels as though this is a freaking video game because Loki has to navigate throughout the past, present, and future to solve a glaring issue, and you see him going back and forth. Like in the scene with the guy from Everything Everywhere All at Once. It almost feels like the person who made that movie or directed that movie directed this episode.
A temporal aura extractor.
Do you have one of those?
I do not.
Great. Can you hold on to that until my friend Mobius drops by?
No. Wait, yes? I actually do have an extractor here.
And so I thought that was actually cool. I also like that they provided this kind of ethical dilemma, because now that these universes or timelines are now branching off, it's like the characters have grown a conscience and they're like, well, we can't just purge all of these other timelines, but if they don't do it, they'll keep branching and everything will be destroyed. So in order to save everyone, you have to kill a lot of people? the ethical dilemmas that they were not supposed to exist in the first place, and then if you allow them to exist, these evil things are going to come and subdue and hurt and torture everyone. I do like the very obvious moral dilemma there. That presents stakes, even though you can't see these people, you can see the result of the concern on the main characters. So they do that very well. We're also following along the timeline with our main characters like Morbius, the one that we know and love, the one that Loki loves. We get a spectacular visual of that old spacewalk thing and the person freaking dying or get pieces of themselves like thrown off. I like how they present the stakes here because they keep on playing on, yeah, your skin gets ripped off, which is a very horrific ending for this person. So now you're like, oh boy, is that actually going to happen? That'd be horrible. And they shot it in such a way that you don't actually know if that's going to happen, which makes me care about this character. Like, maybe nothing happens to him, but what if it does? So I really enjoyed at least this episode, the reintroduction to Loki, and the focus on Loki as well. They did start out with completely demasculating him, or emasculating him. Demasculating. What would demasculating be?
None of that matters.
Interesante. Anyway, is this enough to save the MCU? Personally, no. I feel like a lot of people have already jumped ship, and nothing seems to matter in the grand scheme of things, of which Loki seems to be tied in, then people are not going to want to watch. Marvel kind of backed themselves into the corner because they've constructed this universe where everything is tethered to each other, so you're required to watch other things to understand the other movies. The only problem is, even if you wanted the show to be successful as a standalone, now you can't because you've now made your audience expect that it has to tie into other things, and everything else that it would tie into sucks. Which is very sad because it seems to be going well with the show right now. Anyways, thanks so much for watching. This has been Ultiori. You ask, we answer.